Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing the game The Front, and I'm here in my little car that I just built. I built it about maybe 20 minutes ago. I wanted to start the video here. You see that building in the foreground there right in front of me on that hill? Well, guess what? That's Tarkus's house in this game. I wanted to really stress that this game has quite a bit of assets in it. There's a lot of things that you can do in the game. There's a lot of things you can make, a lot of things you can build. There's a lot of options it gives the player, from PvP weapons to vehicles to just plain on what construction you build your house. Now, I'm on a PvE server, and I would have to say that this game is kind of bland and boring on a PvE server. I mean, I pretty much exhausted what I really wanted to do with this game. I've only been playing it maybe about a week, and I've been playing it by myself. So what I'm going to try to do is find a PvP group, because I think that is where this game's going to shine. As you can see, that's my house. This is it completely. I built this entire structure myself. I built it all. Everything you see here. Let me get out of my vehicle here. Everything you see here, I built it. I have automated, I'm getting some oil out of the ground. It gets automated. Some of the mining items you need can be automated as long as you've got power. I've got this. This I just built. I waited till the last minute kind of to build it. It allows you to build a helicopter if you want to fly around in a helicopter. It allows you to build tanks, battle tanks. It allows you to make bulldozers. It allows you to make pickup trucks, smaller tanks. And then you got AP rounds that go into some of these vehicles. So it's got a APC vehicle. I mean, the game allows you to do so much. I mean, it's crazy how in-depth this game is and what they allow you to do. And again, I think in a PvP environment, it's well worth doing all this, because you're playing against other players and you can do strategies and whatnot. This is my main workshop in the game. This is where I pretty much do everything that I need to do to build. Now, when I mentioned before, my last video, this is kind of a tower defense kind of game too, where you've got this structure here that protects your building. It gives it PvP protection for a certain amount of time. What you can do is you can look at what those defense settings are. So between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., my building can be attacked PvP wise. That's if I was on a PvP server. So it allows you to set a window where you know you got players playing. And this is where we're at in the day right here, is where this little orange line is. So what you do is you ask for resources. Now, none of my guns have bullets in them right now, so I'm not going to show you how this works. But what it is when I call for resources, this structure here calls down baddie. Oh, there's a guy with a truck driving by. This calls down baddies, and they try to get to that beacon that I was just at, and they have to run through this gauntlet, through this entire gauntlet here, to get to my beacon. And if they do enough energy damage to the beacon, they stop the drop ship, so that I don't get the materials. So it's got a few things that are neat with it. I don't know where that guy went with that truck. I don't see, there's not that often that I see a lot of active players on this server. I chose this server because it didn't have a lot of active players to begin with. So occasionally I'll see a player like that guy in the truck. That's the first player I really seen by my area in about 2 days. I mean, I don't really see much going on. And where I am on the map is down here. This is where my building is right here. It's really in sector M9. I picked this location so that my followers, I'd have enough food to feed my followers. And I had done a followers video the other day, and I would say that the best followers, hey, there's someone in global, the best followers to get are those that are ranged. I basically been killing off the followers that are not ranged. So what I mean by that is I think I've got one in here. Well, this guy's a spear one. This guy has a spear. He's 19th level. Eventually, I'll throw him down in the pit here to defend my beacon, and he'll probably get killed. And this one is a gun. This one has a gun, and he's only 15th. This is the one you want because he's got a gun, and it's unlimited ammo. So what I ended up doing was just going down to the lighthouse, which is down here. In that lighthouse, there's a sniper gun person and a regular gun person, and I ended up getting the regular gun person. But the next time I go there to get a follower, I'm going to pick up the sniper. And this one here has just this exile doesn't even have a weapon, and this guy's 41, so I'll be throwing him down in the pit. They die quickly because it just they don't you can't give them armor or weapons. They're like whatever their default was when you got them as a follower. So when you go out to get followers, keep in mind because the whole point of it is to level them up, then throw them down here to defend your beacon. Or if you're PvPing, have them, wandering around your base, helping out, defending your base against PvPers. But they're pretty much, they're fodder because the AI does not work all that well. They die quickly. So I'm thinking that the gun ones will be better because you'll be able to place them on a second floor. So with here, what I do is if I would have my gun, follower, I'd station him here. I'd put him right here, and then I would have him defending the battle area with his gun. So keep that in mind when it comes to the followers. What they're going to be used for. And early on, I guess if you just want one, get a melee one. But I found out that you definitely want to get the ones that have weapons, like ranged weapons, like a gun or a rifle. I built that tower just, I've got a bunch of solar panels up there. I got a bunch of wind turbines up there. That's controlling most of my power. I do have 3 generators going, but I barely use them because I've got solar panels and wind turbines. They're up here. I mean, the game is it's got there's a lot going on with it. And then you've got battery banks. These are the starter banks. They're fine for what I'm doing because what I did is my power source comes from multiple directions. I'm going to go up here, up to here. So these solar panels here go into my main grid, and I've got water up here. This is where all my planterns are. But I found that planting in this game, where I'm at, I just get it everywhere. So there's no point running planterns when I can go get most of my stuff because I'm in a green region. I guess if you're in a desert region or if you're decided to be in this cold region, then the planterns make sense because there's not that much foliage. But where I'm at, I can pretty much get it. I really don't need to do the planting. I did set up those water sprinklers just to say that I did it. Down here, I got another different battery. This is the end battery. This is the best battery bank you can get in a game. And that goes up to the solar panels and wind turbines up here. And actually, this runs my oil well and my mining gizmo. So those are not even on the main grid. So the main grid power is running other things. And this is like secondary grid that runs the automated. So this way, if I ever run out of fuel, at least my mining operation and my oil operation will not go down because the solar panels and wind turbines will keep them up using that battery. So I guess my next thing is trying to find a PvP group. Find a group that needs like a gatherer because that's what I like to do in games like this. I mean, I built all of this in less than a week. I just got the game. And I've built everything you see here by myself in less than a week. Now on this, I've got these fixed searchlights I've put up here. So you can, when you're way out there in the world, you can see this tower light up. Over here, I've got more of the solar array. They go into a battery station. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed, But that stutter step that I was getting in the previous videos has gone away after the patch. So the game developer patched the game, and once the game got patched, I no longer get the stutter stepping that I was getting before. So this is where I put the wind turbines. These guys, they're bringing in 55 to 61 out of 75 because they're close together, but that's fine. I mean, you get less power out of them if you've got structures near them, and it's because I've put them all here. I just said, why not? I mean, I don't need the full boat when it comes to the power. You know, I've got so many panels and so many wind turbines that they generate enough power. I'll not be wanting for power for a long time. You know, those generators that they give you, I wish they kind of gave, I don't think they give you a better generator, but I wish they would give us a better generator that puts off more power and maybe goes off a different fuel source or is more efficient. Like this battery pack here is the load currently, right now it's not even looking like the capacity's full. It's not even pulling a load. So these lights, like all the lights that you see in this tower, all these lights here are run off that battery. I had just made this platform just for the sake of making it because I said, well, why don't I just continue building and making the building look weird. I mean, that's what I've kind of like done here. And you do take fallen damage in this game. You take a little fallen damage. Now I left this roof open, so when I'm up here, I can just drop down into my workshop. So if I'm up there doing stuff, I just drop down in my workshop so I can get into the workshop. Each one of these benches will allow you to make different things. And you'll see that I've got blueprints that allow me to make upgraded versions of the basic things. That's these old blueprints are about. This here, the metal processor, this is where you build all your components to do all your electronics. Poison spray and your traps are here. Your batteries are here. That's where you make all those. This is your gear bench where you can make the gear that you wear. You'll see what I'm wearing. I'll just sit in this bench here. I'm just wearing the metal, the basic. Now, there's a next tier up that I can make, but what's the point? I'm on a PvE server. There's nothing really hurting me at this point other than falling damage. I've got this medical bench that I've never used. You can make all sorts of medical things, and there's an upper level medical bench that I haven't even made yet. That you make this place is where you make the extra benches. I think it's called a medical station. Haven't even made it yet because they don't take any damage in the PvE environment. It's really just playing around and kind of doing your own thing, and nothing's really hurting you. I mean, even when I go out to attack baddies, those baddies don't do enough damage to me. It's the game and the PvE. I mean, I'm glad that I did the PvE first so I could understand how the game works. So I'm not having to understand the game while I've got active people trying to hurt me. You know what I mean? So down here is where the deer are, the deer spawn. And the reason why I built near here is so that I could feed my followers and be able to feed myself. Because the only thing I've been eating is deer meat, cooking the meat. I haven't even bothered making anything out of the oven. Now up here is where that lighthouse is, and at the top of this lighthouse is a sniper. And that sniper is kind of worthless. The sniper doesn't even shoot anyone towards the ground. But if you get up there, you can make that follower, get that guy, make them your follower, and then you'll have and then level them in your workbench. Like I did a previous video on how that works. And then you level them in the workbench, and then you have them available to fight for you. Overall, I'm still enjoying the game, but if I don't find a PvP group, I'm probably just gonna shelve this game. I mean, it's fun, but I've done everything I really wanted to get out of the game. There's no questing in this game. It's more of an open sandbox survival game. The survival part is so easy that it didn't feel like, I mean, from beginning to end, I did not feel like it was grindy, or it didn't feel like I was having big issues early on. From the day I started to today, I never really felt like I was in peril in any way. So you can see my tower, it's really lit up. I mean, that's really what I thought to do is I thought, okay, why don't I build this tower, have it light up so people will come visit me, and no one comes and visits me. No one ever comes by. I mean, there are people playing on the server. It's just that nobody ever comes by to say hello to Tarkus. I'm just going to go down here so that you can see the spotlights on the back end of that as it's getting dark. Oh, there's somebody talking. How do you stop the invisible enemies in base defense? How do you stop? Oh, yeah, okay, I know what he means. I should answer that for him. He's got to put more traps down is what he needs to do. That's how you stop them. So on this side, okay, so on this side, you see those spotlights? Those big spotlights? That's pretty cool, huh? This is the basic car that they give you. You know, this is the first car. This is not a complex vehicle. Doesn't go that fast. It handles all right, I imagine. And then up here, this area here is like full of baddies. It's a mined area, and you'll see that there's baddies walking around. Now, I've got no bullets for my gun right now, because that seems to be the big thing with this game is I spent all my time just making bullets. And it was like, oh my goodness, is that the grind? There's no automated way to make bullets? Because that seems like to be the biggest grind in this game is getting enough bullets. Because you use them, you know, they're depreciating out of your gun every time you use it, right? And same thing with the guns. Same thing with the guns that are protecting my tower. For the tower defense, they all use those same bullets. So I spend my time feeding. Basically, my games come down to feeding my. The car still rolls out. Look at that. Woo. And so the game has become just going out and getting food for my followers and getting enough components to make bullets, and that's what my games become. And I just need a little bit more out of the game than that. So I think PvP is where I need to go to shine and get this done. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.